I didn't believe in ghosts until the night someone showed me a film of my own life that I never recorded.
Welcome to the Trudgery.
The following cases are based on a true story. My name is Roy Piedmont. I'm 47, a farmer out in Waldorf, Maryland. People say I'm chubby and handsome, which I take as a kind of compromise. I work hard, keep my land tidy, and mind my business. Been that way my whole life. I'm cut from a different cloth. I don't bother nobody, and I don't take no shit from nobody, believe you me. That's what I told Teresa the first time she came down from Washington, D.C. She laughed at that, said it sounded like something a man says right before trouble finds him anyway. Teresa was city, sharp edges, quick eyes. She liked me, I think, but she didn't like Waldorf. Said the quiet felt weird. Said the trees looked like they were leaning in. I told her quiet wasn't wrong. It was honest, like a dog sleeping on a porch. You don't go poking it just because you're curious. You let it lie. You respect it, and it won't bite you. She said, Roy, everything out here feels like it's pretending to be asleep. I didn't have a good answer for that. Still, she came by some weekends. I'd bring her fresh strawberries, big sweet ones from my east field. She'd sit on the tailgate and eat them, juice running down her fingers, looking out like she was waiting for something to move. Creepy, she'd say, every time. The Halloween event was her idea, actually. Said I should lean into the creepy and make some extra money. Haunted hay rides, costumes, the whole deal. I didn't love it, but I figured maybe she'd stay longer if the place felt alive to her. So I set it up. Lights along the fence, speakers hidden in the trees playing wind and whispers. A couple of local kids volunteered to dress up and scare folks. It wasn't big, but it was something. That night, the air felt thick, not cold, just heavy, like a storm that couldn't quite start. People came, families, teenagers, a few couples from out of town. Teresa showed up late, wearing a leather jacket, and that looked like she was bracing herself. You actually pulled it off, she said. I told you, I said. Sleeping dogs. She rolled her eyes. Let's hope they stay asleep. Around 9, things started getting off. First was the mower. I keep it in the equipment shed. Old riding mower, loud as anything. I heard it start up while I was near the barn, talking to a couple about cider. Didn't think much of it. Figured one of the kids was messing around. But then I saw it. Headlights cutting across the dark, bouncing over the field. And someone was on it. They were wearing a mask, plain white, no features, just holes for eyes. Hey, I shouted, stepping forward. You're not supposed to. The mower didn't slow down. It came straight at me. I jumped out of the way at the last second. Felt the wind of it brush my leg. The driver didn't look at me, didn't turn their head, just kept going, carving a crooked path through the grass like they had somewhere to be. The crowd thought it was part of the show. Some even clapped. I didn't. I went to the shed. The key was still hanging where I left it. No one saw who got on that mower. I tried to shake it off. Told myself it was just someone being stupid. Happens at events like that. But then the fire started. It was the west field. Dry brush I hadn't cleared yet. I saw the glow first, then the flames licking up fast. Too fast. And there she was. A woman standing in the field, backlit by fire. She was barely dressed, just scraps of fabric. And on her head was a pig's head. Not a mask, not plastic. It looked real, too real. She held something in her hand, a can maybe. And she said, clear as day, like she was talking right to me. We're going to be taking some bacon. I started running toward her, shouting, but she didn't move. She just stood there as the fire grew around her. Then, this is the part I can't explain. The lights flickered, just once, and she was gone. No footsteps, no running, just gone. We got the fire under control fast enough. small enough not to spread too far. People were shaking, but some still thought it was staged. Teresa didn't. "This isn't right, Roy," she said, grabbing my arm. "This isn't a joke." He was about to agree when the barn lit up, not with fire, with light, a projection. Grainy black and white footage stretched across the side of the barn. At first, I thought it was some kind of horror clip someone queued up. Then I saw myself. It was me, walking through my own fields. Different days, different clothes, feeding chickens, fixing a fence, sitting on my porch. All angles I'd never seen. Shots from behind trees, from inside the barn, from across the road. Surveillance. My stomach dropped. The footage kept playing, cutting faster and faster. Me laughing, me sleeping in a chair, me staring out at nothing. Then it stopped on a still frame. Teresa, walking up my driveway earlier that evening. And so over the speakers, my speakers, the ones I set up, came a voice, distorted, childlike almost.
"She came to see the itsy-bitsy farmer. I'ma have to harm her."
The crowd went silent. Teresa let go of my arm. I turned to her, but she was already stepping back, eyes wide, not at the screen, but at me. "Roy," she said, "who else has access to your land?" "No one," I said. And for the first time, I wasn't sure if that was true. The projection cut out. The lights flickered again. And in that moment of darkness, I heard the mower start up one more time, closer, too close. When the lights came back, it was right there, parked 10 feet from us, empty, engine still running. We shut everything down after that. People left in a hurry. No one wanted refunds. They just wanted out. Police came, took statements, looked around, found nothing. No footprints in the burned field except mine. No equipment set up for the projection. No cameras. They said it was probably a prank, coordinated. Someone messing with me. I asked them who would go through that kind of trouble just to scare a farmer. They didn't have an answer. Teresa didn't come back after that. Said Waldorf wasn't just boring or creepy. It was gnaw. Said it felt like something had been watching long before we decided to put on a show. I still live here, still farm, still keep to myself. But sometimes, late at night, I see lights moving across my fields where there shouldn't be any. And once in a while, when the wind dies and everything goes quiet, I swear I can hear that mower start up on its own. Like something's still out there, waiting for me to stop paying attention. Like a dog that only looks asleep. And if you ever find a place that feels too quiet, don't test it, because some things are just pretending. They told me it was a routine conference until someone followed me off the train and knew my name. My name is ESTEFANIA TORRES. I'm a 30-year-old proud New Yorican, born and raised in Bushwick, Brooklyn. I analyze numbers for a living, risk models, forecasts, the kind of work that looks impressive on paper and feels like a slow leak in your soul. I love reading, roller skating, Pilates, and Pernil, though not necessarily in that order. And I'm good at what I do. I just hate it. So when my boss said I had to attend a last-minute conference in Delaware, I smiled like I always do and said yes, because no is a complete sentence, but not in corporate America, not when your rent depends on pretending you're grateful. I took the train down early that morning. Quiet car, window seat. I remember thinking, is this what success looks like? Sitting in stiff clothes at 7:12 a.m., answering emails I didn't care about while the world blurred past in winter gray. About halfway through the ride, a man sat across from me. I didn't notice him at first, just another commuter. But then I realized he wasn't doing anything. No phone, no book, just watching. Creepy. I looked up once. He smiled too quickly. I went back to my laptop. Long ride, he said. Not really, I replied without looking up. He nodded like I'd said something profound. When the train pulled into Wilmington, I stood, grabbed my carry-on, and froze. My bag, my work bag, gone, laptop, wallet, ID, everything. "Excuse me," I said, turning to the man. "Did you see?" But his seat was empty. I got. I felt my stomach drop so hard it was almost physical, like missing a step on a staircase. I reported it. The Wilmington police took a statement, asked routine questions. I answered all of them, calm, measured, analytical, like I was reviewing a spreadsheet instead of my own panic. They said it happens. Bags get taken all the time. I believed them. I didn't believe what happened next. Outside the station, I ordered a ride share. My phone still had battery, thank goodness. I stood near the curb, hugging my coat tighter than necessary. That's when I noticed the car. Black sedan. No license plates. Not temporary tags. Not obscured. Just nothing. It idled across the street. I told myself it was nothing. Rental. Dealer car. There are explanations for everything if you look hard enough. My ride arrived. Normal car. Plates. Driver matched the app. I got in. We pulled away, and the black sedan pulled out too. At first, I thought it was coincidence. Traffic patterns. Same direction. Then we turned. It turned. We hit a light. It stopped behind us. I watched it through the rearview mirror, trying not to make it obvious. My driver noticed. "You okay?" he asked. "Yeah," I said. "Just tired." I didn't say what I was thinking. Won't catch me lacking. We drove another 10 minutes. The sedan stayed with us the entire time. I checked to the app, shared the trip with my sister, just in case. When we got close to the hotel, I made a decision. "Actually," I said, leaning forward, "can you drop me at the coffee shop up ahead instead?" He shrugged. "Sure." We pulled over. I got out quickly, thanked him, and walked straight inside without looking back. The bell above the door chimed too loud. I ordered something I didn't want. My hands were steady. My mind wasn't. I sat by the window. The black sedan drove past. Slow. Too slow. And for a second, just a second, I saw the driver. Same man from the train. He turned his head, smiled, then kept driving. I didn't breathe until the car disappeared. I stayed in that cafe for 2 hours, called the hotel, explained the situation. They offered to send a shuttle. I said yes. While I waited, I watched the street like it owed me money. That's when I noticed something else. A pigeon outside, hopping in tight circles, not flying, not leaving, just circling over and over again. There was food nearby, freedom overhead, but it stayed in that same invisible boundary, like something had trained it to believe that was the whole world. I thought about my job, my life, the way I kept saying yes to things that drained me, the way I told myself it was normal, safe, necessary. The shuttle arrived. I got in. Halfway to the hotel, I saw it again. Black sedan, parked on the shoulder this time. Empty. My chest tightened. "Do you see that car?" I asked the driver. He glanced. "Yeah." "No plates." He frowned. "That's weird." We drove faster after that. At the hotel, I checked in under my first and middle name instead of my last. Asked for a room not on the ground floor. Didn't mention the car. Didn't mention the man. Because saying it out loud would make it real. That night, I couldn't sleep. Around 2:13 a.m., I heard something. A soft knock. Not on the door. On the window. I froze. Slowly, I turned my head. It's 4th floor. No balcony, no ledge, just glass, and the faintest outline of a handprint. From the outside, I didn't scream, didn't move, just stared until my eyes watered. Then I blinked, and it was gone. No mark, no shadow, nothing. I told myself it was exhaustion, stress, my brain filling in gaps like it always does. I stayed up until sunrise, skipped the conference, booked the first train home. On the ride back, I didn't make eye contact with anyone. At one stop, a man boarded and walked down the aisle. For a second, my heart stopped. Same build, same coat, but not him. I exhaled. When I got back to Bushwick, everything felt louder, warmer, real. I changed my passwords, canceled my cards, filed the reports, and then I did something I should have done a long time ago. I quit. No speech, no explanation, just an email, because no is a complete sentence. A week later, the police called me. They found my bag, empty, dumped near a highway. No prints, no leads. Routine, they said, happens all the time. I asked about the man. They said there was no footage of anyone sitting across from me. No record of him boarding. Nothing. I didn't argue. Didn't explain. Some things don't fit in the reports. But I know what I saw. I know what followed me. And I know this. Some predators don't chase. They wait. They watch. They let you trap yourself in patterns so tight, you don't even see the cage. Like that pigeon. Like me. Not for nothing. Never again. Because whatever followed me to Delaware didn't want my bag. It wants to see if I'd keep saying yes. I didn't believe a photograph could get me killed until one of mine asked me not to take it. My name is REMARCO Robinson. I'm a 25-year-old photographer out of Oakland, California. I chase shadows for a living, real ones, the kind that don't lie, unless you ask them to. I canvass the Bay Area at night mostly, because daylight tells you what things are. Night lets them decide. I've always liked that better. Dorothea Lange taught me empathy through a lens. Elliot Erwitt taught me timing. Bross-eye, he taught me how darkness breathes. That's my man. I shoot in black and white because color feels like a distraction. Truth isn't bright. It's charcoal. It's fog. It's the way something looks when you're not supposed to see it clearly. I drink too much whiskey, eat too many pork chops. I trust my gut more than I should. It's gotten me good shots and into bad situations. Like that night, it started like any other. I had my camera, a half-full flask, and a loose idea. Capture Oakland's industrial edges under fog. The port, the rail yards, the forgotten places that don't make postcards. There's beauty there if you know how to look. You ever wonder who you are through someone else's eyes? I think about that a lot when I shoot strangers. Freeze them mid-motion, mid-thought. They never see what I see. Sometimes I don't either, not until later. That night, the fog rolled in thick off the water, swallowing sound. Even the cranes at the port looked like skeletons. I parked near an old access road by the tracks, somewhere I'd shot before. Quiet, too quiet maybe, but that's where the good stuff lives. I stepped out, camera already in hand. The air smelled like metal and salt. I took a few shots, long exposures of the rails disappearing into white nothing, clean, minimal. Bross-eye would have approved. Then I saw him. At first, I thought it was just a guy standing near the tracks, maybe waiting, but something about the stillness. It felt staged, like he was part of the scene, not in it. I zoomed in. He was wearing a mask, white, smooth, long ears, a bunny mask, not cheap either. It looked deliberate, like theater or ritual. He stood facing away from me, hands at his sides. No phone, no movement, just waiting. My gut tightened, but my finger pressed the shutter anyway. Click. The sound felt too loud. The man didn't move. I took another shot. Click. Still nothing. I adjusted my angle, stepped closer, framing him against the tracks. The fog wrapped around him, like it knew him, like it belonged to him. Click. That's when he turned and tilted his head, staring, not toward me, past me, behind me. Every nerve in my body lit up. I turned fast. Nothing, just fog. I swallowed, told myself to breathe. This is how stories get stupid, I thought. This is how photographers turn shadows into ghosts. I turned back. He was gone. No footsteps, no sound, just gone. I scanned the area, heart climbing into my throat. The track stretched empty in both directions. No place to hide, not that fast. I should have left. I know that now, but I checked the photos instead. That's the thing about me. I need to see what I caught. It's like proof that I was there, that it was real. The first image loaded fine. Tracks, fog, nothing unusual. The second, he was closer, not by a step, by yards, facing me. The mask filled the frame more than it should have. And the eyes, there were no eyes, just darkness behind the holes. I felt my stomach drop. I flipped to the third photo. That's when my hands started shaking. He was right in front of me, close enough that the mask should have been all I saw. But it wasn't. The image was warped, like the lens couldn't agree on what it was looking at. The edges bent inward, the rails curved unnaturally. And behind the mask, a face. Not his, mine. Same expression, same angle. Like I was looking at myself wearing the mask, except I wasn't. I stumbled back, nearly dropping the camera. That's when I heard something. Footsteps, soft, measured, behind me. I didn't turn this time. Something in me, call it instinct, call it fear, told me not to. Instead, I raised the camera blindly and hit the shutter. Click. The footsteps stopped. Silence pressed in. I lowered the camera slowly, then forced myself to look. Empty. Again. But my camera wasn't empty. The last photo loaded. It was me. Standing there, camera in hand, facing forward and behind me. The man in the bunny mask. Closer than breath. His hand resting on my shoulder. I swear I didn't feel it. I dropped the camera, ran, didn't lock the car, didn't look back. Just drove until the fog thinned and the city lights felt real again. I didn't sleep that night or the next. I kept thinking about perception, how a lens can bend truth without breaking it. Like those carnival mirrors that stretch your face into something you recognize but don't trust. The world doesn't change, just the way you see it. Or the way something sees you. A picture is worth 1,000 words, but is it worth your life? I tried to delete the photos. They wouldn't go. Corrupted, my computer said. Unreadable, except they weren't. Because sometimes, when the screen flickers just right, I can still see them. And each time I look, he's a little closer. I stopped shooting at night after that. Switched to daylight, portraits, safer work. But every now and then, I catch myself staring into reflections, windows, puddles, polished metal, wondering. You ever wonder who you are through someone else's eyes? I used to think that was poetic. Now I think it's a warning. I still think about Nichelle Nichols sometimes. Silly, I know. Too young, wrong time. But I used to joke, if we ever met on a distant star, I would gift her the Big Dipper. Now, I don't look at the stars much. Too many things looking back. And if you ever find a photo that seems to be watching you, don't zoom in, because something might already be stepping out. I should have trusted the silence on that road, but by the time I realized what it meant, it was already too late. My name is Daniel Porter. I'm 48 now. I'm an electrician straight out of Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn. Solid work, steady hands, no complaints. But when I was 18, I was juggling more than wires. I had an apprenticeship during the day, pulling cable, learning panels, trying to build something real. Nights was a different story. I moved weed. Nothing flashy, a beeper and some business. People hit me up, I met them, kept it quick, kept it clean. Back then, that's just what it was. I wasn't trying to be no kingpin. I was just trying to survive. I was good with people, always have been. Easy smile, kept-ish respectful. That's how you stay safe in the streets. People gotta like you just enough not to mess with you. This one night, I still think about it more than I should. My beeper went off around 10:30 p.m. Late, but not crazy late. Number I didn't recognize. I called it back from a payphone. Yeah, we were still doing that. And it was a woman, soft voice. Calm. Too calm, maybe. She says she's out on Staten Island, Manor Road, near the Greenbelt. I already didn't like that. Hell no. Too quiet, too spread out. Brooklyn got noise. People, witnesses. Staten Island felt like the world could just forget you. I told her straight up, I don't be coming out here like that. She laughed a little, said she's gonna pay extra. Now I'm 18. Money talks louder than instincts when you're that age. I had just put a little setup together in my room too. New TV, speakers, fresh paint. The crib was mad fly after I hooked it up. I wanted to keep that going, so I said, yeah. I took my bike. It was a Kawasaki. I love that thing more than nah. Riding was the only time my head ever felt clear. Wind in your face, engine under you. It drowns everything else out. Getting onto Staten Island felt like crossing into a different country. Less lights, fewer cars, streets stretched out like they didn't expect company. She told me to meet her near a trail entrance by Bloodroot Valley. Now you know, that name should have been enough for me to turn around. When I got there, it was dark in a way Brooklyn never gets. No streetlights cutting through. Just trees and shadows stacked on shadows. My headlights felt weak out there. She was already waiting, standing near the edge of the trail. No Walkman, no headphones, no movement. Just there. I cut the engine, but I didn't get off the bike right away. Something about her posture felt wrong, too still, like she had been placed there. It was mad suspect. I called out, asked if she was the one who beeped me. She nodded, slow. I walked over, keeping my distance. She looked normal enough at first glance. Maybe late 30s, Italian chick, wearing a long coat that didn't match the weather. But her eyes, I remember that. They didn't settle on anything, like she wasn't looking at me, just through me. She handed me the money first, exact amount, plus extra like she promised. No hesitation. Then she said, real quiet, you came faster than the others. I laughed, trying to keep it light. Asked what she meant. She didn't answer that. Just asked if I could walk with her a little way into the trail. Said she didn't feel safe out there alone. Now, I wasn't stupid. I shook my head. Nope. Told her we do business right there. That's when she tilted her head slightly, like she was confused by the idea of boundaries. You don't want to see where they stopped? She asked. I remember feeling cold right then. Not temperature cold, the kind that starts in your gut. I told her again, I'm good, so we did the transaction. She took the bag, but didn't leave. Just stood there. Then she said something I'll never forget. They said no too. I didn't ask who they were. I turned back to my bike. And that's when I noticed it. The ground, at the edge of the trail, right where she was standing. The dirt looked disturbed. Not fresh like someone just dug it, but uneven, like it had been opened and closed more than once. And there were impressions, not footprints, long shapes, narrow, like something had been dragged. I heard something behind me then, soft, slow, like someone stepping on leaves, but heavier than one person should sound. I turned back. She was closer now. I didn't hear her move. She was smiling, not big, not exaggerated, just enough to show she knew something I didn't. You should stay, she said. And that's when I heard it again. Behind her, deeper in the trees, more movement, multiple directions, not animals, too deliberate. That's when my brain finally caught up with my instincts. I got on my bike without another word. Didn't even look at her again. Just started my bike and dipped. I swear, on everything, I saw something in my side mirror as I pulled away. Shapes coming out from the trail. Low to the ground, too many of them, keeping pace for a second longer than anything should have been able to. I didn't stop writing until I hit Brooklyn again. Didn't answer unknown numbers for weeks after that. A couple months later, I saw something in the paper. Short piece, easy to miss, about missing persons connected to Staten Island trails. People last seen near the Greenbelt. No suspects, no real leads, just gone. I never told nobody back then. Didn't want the attention, didn't want the questions. But I think about it now, older, with more sense. Out there, it wasn't just the dark that made it dangerous. It was the distance from everything. See, when you're surrounded by people, even strangers, you're tethered to something. Noise, witnesses, interruption. But when you go too far into quiet places, you start to realize how thin that tether really is and how easy it is for someone or something to pull you the rest of the way out. I don't know what that woman was. I don't know what was in those woods, but I know this. Not everything that calls you out there wants to buy something. Some things just want to see if you'll come. And if I had taken one more step into those woods that night, nobody would be telling this story because nobody would have ever found me. If you ever see yourself in a delivery photo you didn't pose for, beware, because sometimes the picture isn't just proof of delivery. Sometimes it's proof you were already seen. My name is DANEEKA Stokes. I'm a 32-year-old social worker. I was born and raised in Baltimore, Maryland. I grew up in Latrobe homes on the east side near Old Town Mall, where you learn early how to fight back and mind your business if you want to make it home. I live in Overlea now, right by the Baltimore County line. It's quieter out here. That's what I told myself when I moved. After work, I decompress the only way I know how. Cosplay, anime, video games. I've been waiting on Grand Theft Auto 6. Like it's gonna fix my life, it won't, but it will help me shut things off. I'm good at that, putting things in boxes. Stress from work, box it. Memories from childhood, box it. Fear, definitely box that. Close the lid, stack it somewhere high. Don't open it again. That's why I ignored the first delivery photo. You know how they send those? Package on your doorstep, quick snapshot, done. Mine looked normal, except for one thing, me. Barely noticeable, my reflection in the glass. Standing inside, watching. I laughed it off. Bad angle. But then it happened again and again. Different days, different packages. But every time I was in the photo. Sometimes just my arm through the blinds. Sometimes my silhouette. Once clear enough to see my face, looking down at my phone. Not even aware I was being captured. That's when it stopped feeling random. It felt intentional. I started trying to catch the delivery guy, timing it, listening for the truck, opening the door fast. Every time, he was already walking away. Didn't wave, didn't speak, never looked back. Until one night, it was late. Too late for a delivery I expected. When the notification came through, my stomach dropped before I even opened it. The photo wasn't my front door. It was my backyard. The gate, half open, and a package sitting just inside. Now here's the thing. My backyard isn't visible from the street. You don't just accidentally end up back there. You have to walk around. You have to choose to go there. I stood at my back door for a long time before stepping outside. It felt wrong. Too quiet, like the air was holding its breath. The gate creaked when I pushed it open. The package was real. Brown box, my name typed clean on top. No return label. I pulled up the delivery photo again. That's when I saw it. A shadow behind the fence, tall, still not me. I turned slowly, scanning the alley, the corners, the spaces where someone could hide. Nothing. Then, right behind me, a voice, low, close.
Pop goes the weasel. Dummy.
I spun around so fast my vision blurred. Nobody there. I ran inside and locked everything. Doors, windows, even the ones that never mattered before. I left the package outside for about 10 minutes. Then my phone buzzed again. Same delivery, updated photo. Now the package was on my back step, closer, and this time I was in the picture, standing in my kitchen, frozen, facing the door. I hadn't moved, hadn't stepped outside, but the angle was from behind me, like someone had been standing in my yard looking in, watching me. I called the police. They came, took it seriously, at least at first. They checked the yard, the alley, took the package. Inside was just a piece of paper. 3 words, "I'm coming." They asked me if I had enemies. I almost laughed. You don't do my job without people having reasons to hate you. But this didn't feel like that. This felt patient. That night, I couldn't sleep. Every sound felt placed. Every shadow felt like it meant something. Around 2:30 in the morning, my phone lit up. No notification, just the camera app, open, front-facing. I was on the screen, lying in bed, eyes closed, and in the background, my doorway. Something was standing there, tall, too still, watching me. I didn't move, didn't open my eyes, because I knew if I did, it would know I saw it. Morning came eventually. The police said no forced entry, no prints, nothing missing. Install cameras, they told me. Stay alert. Like I hadn't already been doing that, like that would matter. I started thinking about boxes again, how we use them to control things, to contain them, to pretend we understand them. But some things don't stay where you put them. Some things don't need permission to get in. Now, when I get delivery photos, I don't always recognize what's in them. Last night I got one. No package, just my living room. Dark, TV paused, and me, standing in the corner, facing the wall, like I'd been put there, like I belonged there. There was a caption, typed neatly, "Don't come for me unless I send for you." And under that, he was down on Iga Street, looking bad. I don't know what that means. I don't know who's sending them, but I know this: I've stopped ordering things, stopped checking reflections, stopped opening boxes I don't remember ordering, because something already got delivered, and I don't think it ever left. So if a package shows up that you didn't order, don't bring it inside, because some deliveries aren't meant for your house. They're meant for you. If you enjoyed the video, press that like button and consider subscribing to the channel. Stay tuned for more great stories.